Hello and welcome back to another Final Table commentary. Today we got a 15k super high roller from the 2026 anniversary series. We got Coco Jambo on the Final Table, Ole, Ramunculus, Jesper, Grozorg, ILS, D-Jan, Star Wins, and laying it around things out. We got $175,000 for first place, 120 grand for second, holy fuck, about 80,000 for third place, 55-ish for fourth. Fifth place gets 38,000, 26,000 for sixth place, and the other three players get no money. No money in a 15k entry. D-Jan opens up Ace Jack suited. We got some playable holdings in the blinds. I don't know if Jesper's gonna call. They've got about 88 blinds. That's a whole lot. I think in first place, they certainly are. I don't think a 3-bet makes a whole... every once in a while you see it, but 9-10 suited. You might just want to call and come along to the flop. Hopefully the big blind just calls as well. You see some good stuff. Not really. It's a 3-betting spot. Anyways, we're 3 ways to the Jack 7-4 board. Thanks to KalipokerTV poker replays. If at any point in time you find I just fuck up way too much, then go click on the video and you can watch it in some silence. There'll be a link in the description. There'll be a link to the video in the description or something like this. D-Jan with top pair, top kicker bets 2 blinds into 7. Both those players with the 9-10 have a straight draw to the 8. The big stack comes along from the small deuce of diamonds on the turn. Jesper's probably just going to be done once we see that turn bet. Way too many draws out there for D-Jan to be checking back. This very strong holding here. Man, this is taking forever. D-Jan, what do we bet? We're going to bet to size up the river. Anywhere around 10 blinds will work. Full pot gets the job done. So it is very interesting. We got 3 players till we make the money. Star Wins on 10 blinds. And we got ILS with about 13. Grozorg with about 13. Themself King Jack suited will rip from the small and take it down free. And Ramunculus 13.5, laying down 14. That's quite a few short stacks. Oh, we just limped this one in here, forcing 8-3 to see a flop. Ace-5, 4 board. 2 clubs out there for Grozorg. The king high's best. ILS has a straight draw to the 2. 8 and 3 are live. Grozorg bets 2 blinds. Weird spot for ILS with the straight draw. That's a big bet. 2 blinds into about 3 in this limp pot. You could almost think about just folding, considering the situation. ILS is a wizard. We'll see what the hell they elect to do. Oh, we got 100 seconds to think about this one. I don't got much more to say right now, dude. This is just a tough spot. Early in a tournament, you find the call. You just continue to see some cards out there. Yeah, the 3 of clubs or whatever it was. So backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush. Or sorry, a straight draw to the 2 and the backdoor flush draw. ILS does elect to fold. Ace-10 for Jesper comes in for the open. Grozorg with Ace-Queen, an easy 3-bet jam for 13 blinds. Weird spot for Jesper, finds the call looking for a 10. Backdoor flush draw. Ooh, a club is nasty. 9 on the river also works. Grozorg is dead. Grozorg is out of here. Jesper's big stack gets bigger, 88 or 85 blinds, sorry. Coco Jambo comes in for the open with the king-queen suited, and Star Wins will just fold the big blind. Down to 8 players quickly. I thought this was going to take much longer. 9-9 for Ramunculus, 11 blinds. I think you want to just rip this one in pre. We'll see what Ramunculus does, of course, but I think this one is a little bit too vulnerable to come in for the min raise. It's not as strong as like queens or jacks or 10s even. 10s, do you rip it in pre? I might min raise the 10s. It's off 11 blinds, you know what? That's a short stack. Coco Jambo has Ace-King suited in the big. 8s for ILS. They'll probably rip it in here for 9. It will just probably just fold to the big, and we'll get a quick call and a flip for ILS's life. Don't know why this is taking so long. There's the call button. Ace-King or Jack dealer. Okay on the turn, just looking for the 8 on the river. No, ILS is dead, which is kind of a damn shame because I wanted to see ILS pick up some chips and get to work. King 6 suited for DJ, and that looks like an open. Ooh, we got a couple big stacks in the blinds. Do we fold this one? Coco in the small, Ole in the big blind. Yeah, we do just find the fold with the suited king. From where's that? Like the hijack or something? Coco covering Ole will come in for a 3.5 blind open from the small blind. Queen 5 is a pretty shitty holding. Every once in a while you see these raggedy queens go for a 3-bet. Not this one, not here, not today. Ace 10 Degen will open that bad boy up. Are we one player away from the money? That's pretty important. Star wins on 6.5 blinds. Lena just under 10. Ramunculus on 12. Might just fold the big blind here. 4-5-0. Yeah, we just gotta preserve our chips in this situation. One off the money. 3-3 for Star wins. Oh, this is weird. They do fold. They say hopefully we can just get into the money somehow. Ace Queen for Ole. They will open and probably just take it down pre-Jack 5. Jesper in the big blind with all those chips. A 3-bet would be cool. It just like the situation just says, holy shit, there's a lot of money out there. So every once in a while you get a player who will just go crazy with 3-bets. Jesper calls the Jack 5 pre-flop, makes a pair of jacks. Top 2 pairs for Ole, they go for a small c-bet. Like there's a world where your pair of jacks is good, but this is weird, dude. Why did we even see the flop? Jesper comes along at 10 on the turn, one liner to a king. 8 blinds in the middle. Do we check back the top 2? We do. 6 on the river. I'm wondering what we do here if check 2 on the river and Ole's shoes. Like, can we go for a value bet, try to get called by worst 2 pairs? And then, like, what size do you go? Do you go big? And I think I landed on like 6 blinds. Ole says a little bit smaller than that, 5.3. It's kind of interesting. You do kind of want to go for this bigger sizing. Like, you don't expect your opponent to have a king after check 2 on the river. And if they do check raise you, it's not like you want to bet so big that you feel like you need to, I don't know, like you're, what is it called? Invested in the pot. You just bet about like 6 blinds. Hope to get some value by worst 2 pairs. Jesper folds the pair of jacks. We're moving along. Coco gets an open through pre. Ace 8, they'll come in for another open. Ramunculus folds the Ace 9. Degen with Ace Queen suited in the small blind. We'll see what the hell happens here because Jesper's got this 5-6 suited. They call. Does Degen 3-bet in such a shitty situation? A 3-bet? Is it like just a 3-bet fold? We get like 10 blinds, 9 blinds or so. Fold to the rip. You don't expect Coco to come over the top with Jesper still in the pot. Unless he's got a monster, of course. Or do you just call from the small? Maybe Starwinds rips it in? This is such a spicy situation. I kind of like a 3-bet to like, maybe even smaller, like 8 blinds. Degen says we're just going to call. We'll see this King 9-2 flop 3 ways. One heart out there for Degen. Backdoor straight draws. And a backdoor flush draw for Jesper. Oh, interesting little 4 diamonds on the turn for Jesper. They pick up a straight draw to the 3 and the diamond draw, of course. Ace Queen still best. Nobody do. Does Jesper elect to bet his equity? That Ace Queen probably has to hit the muck, and then why would Ace 8 call? Jesper might just take this one down on the turn. If we bet big too, it's just going to work. He goes about half pot, or exactly half pot, and it still gets the job done. Ace Queen for Ole. Oh my lord, look at all the holdings here. Degen with King 10 suited. Do we call from the button here? What the hell is going to happen? Do we just fold? And there's obviously Ace King and 10-10 for Lena. There's actually a world where Star wins rips and then Lena. Do we fold the 10s? You know, it's like, do we just want to scoot in the money? If Djan 3-bets, does Starwin's fold ace king somehow? No, I don't think so. There's the 3-bet to 7 blinds. Very interesting happening here with 2 big holdings in the blinds. Like, this is Ole's ace queen's gonna look like shit whenever it gets back to him. So, like, does Starwin's rip? Does Lena jam? Ole folds, Djan calls? Is that how this goes down? Like, that's kind of crazy. And then a queen on the flop, of course. I think we still got to rip in this ace king. Yeah, and then the question is, what's Lena do with tens? Yeah, tens hit the muck. Very interesting happening. This king 10 suited 3-bet really put an interesting spin on the hand. Ace queen rips for Ole. Jack on the flop. That's not a queen. Any queens dealer? That's not a heart. No, Starwinds just picks up a pretty damn big pot, about 16 blinds. He's now double what Lena has. And a pretty comfortable lead over Ramunculus, who has a pocket pair of fives, who just quickly folds 11 blinds. Or off 11 blinds, sorry. Oh, that was a very interesting hand. 9-10 suited Jesper will open it on up. Queen Jack in the big blind. Coco will call and we'll see 3 cards. Little ace 3-2. Looks like a check bet fold situation here. Queen Jack, sorry. Don't know if we can even call facing a small bet. Like 1.7? Do it. I don't think we can call. Nope. Was that a break? Oh my lord, that was quick. Let's get this show rocking and rolling here. Skip, 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 skip. King 7, Jesper, you're not playing it fold. Oh yeah, we're coming back from break. Patience, Brendan. Patience. Made 3 for Lena, that's a no-go. Oh, Coco with the 6 and the 7. Let's see if they come in for that big sizing again. It was like 3.5. I like it. King 9 is going to be a defending hand facing that big size. I don't think we want a 3-bet. Interesting. Coco deep in the tank here. Oh, I wasn't expecting a limp. Flop goes check, check, queen 7 deuce. Eat on the turn. Goes check, check, I suppose. Jack on the river. Is Coco bet a blind for value? He says, no, we'll just check this one all the way down and scoop it versus the king high. Anyways. Can't be right about all of them, I suppose. King 8 for Coco, I think, is an open on the button. Ramunculus might rip the 6s from the big. Tough spot here. This is crazy. It's a button open, which is like the widest range. It's the most possible hands you can have. 6s, jam, this Coco call. You don't even want to have a flip here. It's like $26,000 on the line. Nice big ball play by Ramunculus. They rip and take it down pre with the pocket pair. So now it looks like Lena's our bubble boy. Queen 10 for Starwind says, do I come in for the open here? No, I think I still gotta fold. What a shame. Ace Jack for Ramunculus in the small blind. Oh, this is a rip for chips, but of course we're in a different situation. Do you limp it in? Your opponent raises and then you rip? I think you do that. Let's see what Ramunculus likes to do. They go 2.7. I like the sizing. Nothing happens, of course. Jesper has 2.9 in the big blind. These two suited for Lena. They're going to take the spot here and get it through pre 7 blinds. Rips it in. Takes down the blinds and antes. We're going to preserve the bubble just a little bit longer. A 7 for Coco. Early position open. We'll see if he comes in for it. They are fucking aggressive and they are second place position. Jesper's shown the proclivity to be calling pre-flop. So if Coco opens here, we're probably going to go... Does Djan call from the small? Do we still go 3 ways here? Jesper opens. Djan might just fold because this is... Oh, we just got a jam. Nice play by Jesper, actually. It's like it's a huge risk, 30 blinds, but your opponent's got to fold almost everything. Like if, oh my gosh, what did you do in DJ's shoes if you got like ace queen off? Your opponent just rips 30 blinds, almost 30 blinds, 29, whatever you want to call it. You're like, fuck, I know my hand's probably best, but you don't even want to take a flip here for like $26,000 for the big stack. But then you're like, there's 175 grand up top. If I can take down a huge pot right now, I'm just raising my chances to win the big one. Interesting. I think you fold in the end. I could be wrong though. It's just such a fun dynamic to think about. Queen 9 for DJan. I think it's still gonna be an open here. We're suited and booted. DJan says, "No, Brendan, you're wrong." Lena with ace 8. Oh, we'll rip it in for about 10 and take it down free. So Lena up to 12. Starwins, who won that pot a little earlier, is at 14 blinds. Homunculus at 15 right now. Coco with 9-8. Oh, we'll raise from the button and take it down pre. Ace 5 suited for Lena. Don't do it, dude. A min raise is cool as fuck. Oh, no, he does it. He sticks in 6 blinds. Jesper with 9s in the big. We're going to get this in. Looking for an ace or clubs, dude. Just that ace. A backdoor straight. A 4. Ace or 4. No, sirree. Lena's the bubble boy. And we are in the money. $26,000 locked up. Ace 3 suited for Olay. Homunculus with ace 9. Could think about a 3-bet rip here. He says, no, actually, I'm not going to at all. I'm not going to think about that for a second. King 6 for DJan. The suited variety is a fun 3-betting hand. I don't know if you do it in this instance. It's not even suited. DJan says, I just fold, dude. Why are you wasting oxygen? Ace 8 for Coco opens. Jesper with Jack. It'd be fun to see the sizing here. We're pretty deep, 65 blinds. Jesper calls. I was thinking 3-bet for sure. Starwins in the big. Gets out of there with King 2. 9-7-4 flop. Coco checks. Probably just done with the pot. 6 3/4 blinds in the middle. We get about a third pot size bet and Coco check folds. Interesting little happening though. Just a call from Jesper. Pre-flop there with the jack and the jack. Jack 9 for Ole opens. DJan ace 9 suited on the button. Did we come in for like a small 3-bet to like 5 blinds? DJan's aggressive. 5.5? 5.7? DJan folds. Queen 10 in the big for Coco. 3 cards dealer. 10-2-2. 1 spade and 3 in a row for Ole. We could just bet like 1.5. See what happens. Coco. Top is the pairs on the paired board. No draw out there at all. Just calls. 10 on the turn. That's a full house. Ole is dead in the holding. 0 chance of winning. He cannot win the hand. Ole is not going to win. They check. That's a good decision when you're not going to win. 4 of... Oh my god, this is so boring. Holy shit, hurry up, dudes. Does Coco bet here? Actually, this is interesting. What do you do with the full house on the river here? Your opponent checks. You're like, well, you're not going to... Oh, I guess you just... Coco says you're going to go absolutely huge and hope he has like a pair of aces, kings, overpair. Pocket pair of some sorts, or Homunculus with aces, speaking of an overpair. Or pocket pair. Holy fuck. Stumble over your words. 13 blinds. Homunculus opens under the gun. That's a pretty tight, narrow range there. Ole with Jack 8 suited in the big says, I think I have to call in C3 cards. 8-6-6 is actually a pretty boring and unfortunate happening here. Sorry, so like Ole's got this pair of 8s. You're like, fucking cool, dude. But if he's got that overpair, I am completely boned. My 2 pairs is like just impossible to improve my actual situation. I'll have 2 pairs, but they'll have 2 pairs too, and they win. Ole goes for a small bet here. If Homunculus raises the turn, he's just going to take it down, I think. Oh no, an 8 on the river. Oh boy. Ole jams, Homunculus snap calls. GG. Well. Oh, he didn't even go all in. He leaves him He leaves him 0.9 blinds. Effective all in. If Ramunculus folds here, that's some next level wizardry. He's kind of like, look, you know that I know that you know that I know that there's so many missed straight draws. Would you actually go all in on the river with one of those missed straight draws? I would have called instantly. Ramunculus is somehow thinking about a fold and his opponent has a full house. There was no flush draw out there. All the missed straight draws out there though. And sometimes your opponent even takes like a random ass king 7, you know, some sort of 7x random ass 9x. Man, I just call here so quickly, and Ramunculus is still at 90 seconds to think about a fold. Great game, Ramunculus. I don't know. I don't know how he did it. Starwind's turn with aces. Holy shit, what a fold by Ramunculus. He's down to like 6 blinds. I don't know. I don't even know the logic how he talked himself into it. He's just, is it something like, I know that you know that I know that you know that I know that you're going to have all the missed straight draws, so you know that I know that you know that I know that I need to fold here. So he folds or something? Well, that was confusing. Queen Jack calls from the small here. Ramunculus with the Jack 3 suited might come along in the big. He's got such a short stack, and he says, I might need to just see 3 cards with the suited holding. Do you preserve your holding and hopefully Starwind's bust somehow? But then in the end, shouldn't you just call? Yeah, call and you see 3 cards, dude. King 7 6 2 spades. Ramunculus does have that flush draw. Do aces get cracked again? If you're Ramunculus, do you just get this in on the flop facing a 1 blind bet? 1.5 blinds? Don't you just still get it in? You don't really want to call with 3.19 blinds behind. Don't you just go all in here with in Ramunculus' shoes? Quick call. Looking for that spade, dude. Just a spade will work. Ew, spade. Aces get correct again. Aces suck, dude. They're the worst holding ever. Starwinds is down to 2 blinds. That's a damn shame, but Ramunculus is hanging in there. After the huge fold with aces, they get rewarded with the spade on the river. He rips in 16 blinds or so with 10-9 suited. A huge ball play in this situation. You got Starwinds with like less than 2 blinds. Ramunculus says, I don't really care about the ladder. I'm just going to play perfect poker. Holy fuck, what a showing by Ramunculus off the short stack. Coco, ace 8, holy fuck. It is hard to stand out when you're playing against such tough competition, but Ramunculus, holy fuck. And off the short stack too, it's not easy to make yourself look like a wizard when you have less than 10, or when you have 11 blinds. You got pocket aces opening up under the gun. Not easy to make yourself look like a wizard. Did ace 9 just fold the big blind? DJan says, I'm just going to wait. I don't fucking know what happened there, dude. We still could have just saw it called and saw a flop. DJan tinks and tinks and tinks and folds. Says, maybe if I have a pair of aces, like, you know, maybe if I make top pair or something, I don't even really want to call down. If I flop a straight draw or something wrapped around that 9, I don't even really want to call a flop bet. But then he still calls 8-9 suited here, which is rather connected. So maybe that's what it was. 7s for Starwinds is pretty well just going to call here. We're all in, dude. Ace 8 for Jesper opening the button. 8-9 suited calls. The small 7s are just forced to call. We have almost all of our chips committed to the pot. Almost all the chips just committed right to the pot. To be fair, 7s are very unlikely to win 3 ways. Not easy for a pocket pair of 7s to hold 3 ways. You kind of want to see a 7 on the board there. In this instance, Jesper and Djan both hold an 8, so that makes pairs less likely for your opponents. But you're still sweating aces, 9s, and then the 2 8s. Anyway, Starwinds, get this shit in. I don't know how you can fold here. Starwinds is using their whole time bank. Do you see they do a 40% pre-flop somehow? And here I am saying they've just got no chance of winning three ways. But in this specific instance, when your opponents have one of the same holding or one of the same cards in their holding, then it obviously drives up your equity. Anyways, a pair of aces for Jesper. We're looking for a 7. Just a 7. No 7. Starwinds is dead after their aces get cracked, and then the 7s are no good. So a bigger little pot there for Jesper. Not too many chips. But we're down to what, 5 players now? $38,000 locked up. Ramunculus with a king and a queen in the big blind. Coco with the queen 2 suited will open. Interesting spot for Ramunculus. Sometimes I 3-bet, sometimes I call. I think it depends on the situation and who you're playing. How do I lean this way? Or in this instance? I kind of like a call because Coco is going to be very aggressive pre-flop, so you know they're going to be opening a whole lot of bullshit. So then you just get like the stuff that you dominate, such as the queen 2 suited to fold pre-flop. Had you taken a post-flop, you would have kept that shit in there. Ole limps it in from the button. Ramunculus calls the small. Queen 6, Jack 5 for Jesper. Just checks the big blind. What the hell is going on here? Queen 8, 5 is the flop. Top pair for Ramunculus. Oh, no. What? What? A 3 on the turn? Ramunculus wisely checks. Wisely checks, let me tell you. Ole just bangs off 3 of a kind. Is there any nasty-ass cards? I don't know if Ramunculus could fold the pair of queens here. He's going to call this super small bet. No real reason to check raise. Alright, I don't think there's a real good reason to check raise. You just call. Jack 5 probably gets the hell out of there. Oh, I would think. No, Jesper comes along. 10 of clubs on the river. So there's like Jack 9 that makes a straight. That's it. Ole's gonna bet. Probably sizable. Maybe just pot. Oh, he goes a little bit smaller. 4 3/4. That's actually pretty small. It's a 3-way pot. Not gonna be easy to get called, that's for sure. Ramunculus might even think about folding the top pair. When you got a player behind you, you're sandwiched in there and you're just terrified about the player behind you. Because like if Ramunculus calls, it really opens the door for Jesper to come in for a raise. Juicing the pot, putting more big blinds in the middle. There's the call by top pair. Let's see if Jesper can find a big old bluff. No, not here, not today. The pair of 3s that turned into 3 of a kind. What the fuck is going on? Oh, weather alert or something? That was terrifying. Fucking alerts. Ramunculus with an ace and a king. 13 blinds. Oof, this is actually difficult. You actually do want to think about just ripping it in pre, even though it's such a strong hand. You just don't want to get boned by some shitty flop allowing some junk holding to C3 cards. So you kind of just rip it in there, protect all your equity. Ace king for Jesper this time. Comes in for the min raise, and queen 10 might just fold, and then Coco with 5-3 in the big. They also just get the heck out of there. 7-7, Jesper will come in for another open. Another open, yes sirree. 9-5 for Ole in the big. No. No calls. Little king and the queen for Ole in the small blind. Might just raise and take it down. Pre might rip it in 15 blinds deep. Do we go small, like 2.5 to 2 or to 3? A little bit smaller. 2.5, 2.7. No, we're all in and we take it down pre. This is boring. Let's hurry up. Holy shit, look at these holdings. King 2 suited. We open it up and take it down pre. Jesper the big ass stack in the big blind with a 9 and a 3. Although we did call like Jack 5-0 earlier. Not here, not today. 8-9 suited will open. Ace Queen for D-Jan is a pretty easy 3-bet pre-flop, and we take it down pre without seeing any cards dealer. There's the jam. Ole gets the heck out of there. Ooh, an ace and a jack. Go with king jack suited in the big blind. Ace 7 for Jesper, I don't think calls. Jesper has been showing the proclivity to be calling. Come along, Jesper. No, I didn't think so. Ace 7 was a pretty shitty holding. We get the king high board and a straight draw. And the backdoor nut flush draw for Ole. This could get spicy. I don't know. Do we check raise on the flop here with the king and the jack? We very well could. Coco just calls and we get that ace on the turn, which changes everything. A 10 gives both players a straight. Otherwise, Coco just needs a king. And I'm tempted to call on the turn here. This looks like value, this sizing. Yeah, it does. 5.5 into 8.5. Sure, it looks like value. Coco calls and bangs off that king. Ole can probably just check top pair. Right? Did we try to get called by a queen? Coco just bangs off one of those two outers you hear about all the time. Holy fuck, why is this taking so long? I think we just check here, even with that ace hearts. With the jack. Yeah, we just want to check. Nice read by Ole just to show it down on the river. Gets lucky on the turn and then unlucky on the river, whatever you want to call it. Nice pot for Coco. Sliding into a comfortable second place. King 6 for Ole. Gets a walk and then we're moving on along. 5-4, Coco just folded the button. Says Ramunculus might be ripping wide pre-flop. King 5, Ole will jam for about 13 and take it on down. Ooh, a couple of kings, not much behind. However, Ole will just open. Jesper 9-5 in the big blind with all those chips might call. We get a limp. Ole limps it in, forcing 9-5 to see a flop. 10-8-2 is the board. Ole bets half pot and takes it down. Something like that. That 9 has 3 in a row. But no. 6-2 for Jesper. Weird spot where you do want to do a lot of jamming here. Do you come in for a smaller raise, of course, with 6-2? Yes, you do. And D-Jan folds a jack and a 2. Moving on along. Ace 3 for Coco in the big. Waits patiently. Not much for anybody here. Jesper 9-3 on the button. Might just fold. Would be funny to see an open here. 9-3-0. No, Coco does just get the walk. Oh, aces. That's a good hand. Aces, what do? We raise to like 3 blinds? No, we limp it in. Holy shit. King 10 suited checks it on back. And we get a whoa, 3 of a kind versus a straight draw and flush draw. Well, Poker Stars. Trying to set something up here. Top set checks it over. And we make a boat on the river. There's 2.6 blinds in the middle. We got a... That flush draw, straight draw, no problem. Got 2 blinds in the middle. Here we go, there's a little action. A raise on the turn here by Ole, who doesn't improve it. Coco checks over the boat. Ole can check it back here. Show it on down. Somehow could try to believe that he beats Queen 10. Aces for top boat. Scoop less than 10 blinds versus the King 10 with the nut flush draw. There's a world where Coco bets 3 blinds pre. Ole calls. We got like 8 in the middle. Top set versus the flush draw. Maybe Coco checks. Maybe we still see a check on the flop. I don't know if Ole bets their equity. We still might see a bet and a raise on the turn. Check on the river potentially as well. But at least we would get that raise in pre-flop. I don't know. Maybe there's a world where we don't scoop too much more chips. Now that I talked it out, you know. You would have got like another 2 blinds pre-flop or something, and that's about it. You almost just have to fast play that top set, which is almost what's very counterintuitive. You kind of like I block all the top pairs. I really want to just check my top set of aces here, even though there's a whole buttload of draws. But then it's hard to build a huge pot. Oh, with those. Oh, this is just a tough situation. I don't know if Coco necessarily did anything wrong, even though we did check it over. Yeah, it's just a tough spot. Anyways, Jesper flopping top 3 of a kind. I don't fucking know these words. My brain's not working today. Ace Queen has 3 of a kind. Ole with a flush draw to the spade, and Coco doesn't belong in the holding with Ace 4 hearts. No straight draw for Ole or anything. Just looking for a spade. Seven on the river. That's a full house for Jesper. Ole's pocket pair is counterfeit. Playing the board. Coco with 2 pairs and an ace kicker says, no, I do not care to pay this bet off. Wow, it's small, 2.35 blinds. Ole again with no hand. He plays the board. Has no holding. He folds. Blinds go up. Still at 5 players. Got 2 shorties, Ramunculus and Djan. Ace 6 suited will rip for about 11 and take it down pre. Boing, boing, boing. King 3 suited gets out of there. Jack and a jack. We got an ace and a queen. This will just get him pre-flop. The question is, how do we get there? Just an open rip by Ramunculus. If I'm Jesper, I think I just call. Do you raise, try to get Coco out of there? But oof. No, I think you call. We're just flipping here. Ace or queen. Now a jack would work. No, it wouldn't. 10 on the turn, pairs the board. 16 blinds, jacks hold for Ramunculus, which is good news, because if we're being honest, they played a damn good game so far, and it'd be really cool to see them pick up chips. Ace queen comes in for an open under the gun. Ace jack in the big. We get a 3-bet by Coco, king 3 suited. What does Ole do? Is there a world where Ole 4-bets and then Ramunculus folds ace queen? Or are we just 5-handed and ace queen is forced to get in here? Ole gets out of there. So fuck all those words. Ramunculus, I think we just jam. Easy jam, 11 more to call. Coco with the shit holding. The bluff pre gets out of there. 4-4 for Djan, rips it in for about 8 blinds, takes it down. King and a queen. Coco comes in for the open. A little open. 5-3 suited. We'll call the big and flop 2 pairs. Jesper checks. Coco, we'll just check it back. I was wondering, with that queen of spades, I kind of like betting, but I'm thinking, that's a very good board for the big blind. 3 low cards. Coco is just willing to check this one down. Says, I don't need to bluff king high. Could beat some sort of like other king high, king jack, some sort of king x suited. That might bluff the river, if we're being honest. I think you still just get rid of king high. You're not too worried about hero calling in this instance for 5 blinds. 2 pairs checks. Coco can check and just get away from it. A few straights get there. Coco says, no, I'm going to bet half pot. Try to get him to fold like an ace high or something. That's literally what he's targeting right now. Like a pair of 3s. Does that call still? Maybe. 2 pairs anyways. We'll go for the check raise and take the pot down there. Coco still escaped there by putting in very little chips. Maybe a c-bet would have been smaller facing a check raise on the flop. You just get out of there. Still, it's kind of cool to see the check down to the river. E7 for Ramunculus. Weird spot. Do we ever rip it in here for 20 blinds? That's probably not necessary. But I'm just thinking, Jesper's going to do a lot of 3-betting here, dude. Djan's going to be doing a lot of 3-betting here. Do we ever just call in the big with king 2? I don't know. This is my least favorite hand. I would fold. I'm out of there. Djan was thinking about a call for a second. Ace jack. Ole will open under the gun 5-handed. 4-7 for Coco in the big. And blinds have gone up quite a bit. So Coco is not as deep. He's got to get rid of that shit holding in the big blind. 5-5 Ramunculus just lets go of a pre-flop and 9's open for Jesper. Interesting shit there. I would open that small pocket pair and got fucked somehow. Ramunculus showing off their wizardry a little bit more, folding that small ass pocket pair. 10 jack, Jesper will open up under the gun. Queen 8 suited. 3 bets. Coco's getting after it here. Ole has to fold the ace 5. Jesper's out of there too with jack 10-0. Nice little 3 bet by Coco. Takes it down. King king for DJan. Comes in for a limp or a min raise. I kind of like a limp. Does king 3 just fold? King 3 might just fold here. I don't think we have a reason to call king 3-0. Just let it go, dude. That's why you might limp it in here. Force him to see a flop with some shit holding. King 5 versus king 7 suited. We might get this in. This could be a call here. DJan's in last place. This is very, very close. We'll see if DJan can find it. It's a pretty big ball call. 2 big nuts hanging below Gengar there. There it is. Beautiful play. No. Oh my god, dealer spade. Oh, 7. No way, dude. Oh, beautiful call by DJan. Gotta be rooting for Gengar, but not here, not today. Jesper gets there with that little sneaky 5. Anyways, we're moving along 4-handed. Coco Jambo with the jack and the 2 comes in for that big raise pre-flop. He's suited and booted. Sees 1 spade out there, goes for a small C bet. Poor timing. Poor timing. Nothing you can do about your timing. Ole with the toppest of pairs. We get a 3 of clubs on the turn. Coco should just slow down. Yeah, Coco's kind of done with this one, I think. It'd be very... Oh my god, I was going to say, it'd be very cool to see Ole check. So the flush draw gets there, which is kind of bad news for Ole. Because your opponent's less likely to bluff, I think, in this instance. But say you just get some random ass, I don't know, 4 of clubs? 5 of clubs or something? Does Coco go for a bluff with the block in the straight there? In the end, we see a heart on the river. Ole bets the top pair and takes the pot down. Ace king for Coco. Ole not likely to do too much here with the king 10, I don't think. I've been wrong before though. Do we come in for a 3-bet fold? There it is. 7 blinds. I was wrong. Ole throws 7 blinds back to Coco. Do we ever call? No, I don't think so. We can come in for like a very small 4-bet, which is kind of disastrous. Some players do it anyways. Coco rips it in, takes it down. Pretty very standard shit. Ace 6 suited. Ole will come in for an open here. Queen Jack, a calling hand in the big blind. 3 of a kind. That's pretty cool, dude. 5 blinds in the middle. Ole with an overcard to the, or 2 overcards to the 3, so perceivably he could have a good, he could have some equity. Oh my god, I stumbled over this one. You got the backdoor hearts, faces a check raise on the flop. The thing is, this is what I was trying to get to, is like, I think there's going to be a check raise on the flop, and then you call because your opponent could just have a 3. You could have 2 overs, backdoor heart draw. And another thing is, oh, Jesper check. Do it, dude, check. It's a very cool thing where you pretend you have a 3. You might go to the river for free. So Jesper wisely bets instead of listening to Brendan, who wouldn't have got this value here. Yeah, you size up the river jam. That makes so much more sense. Ole has the flush draw, has to call again. Perceivably 2 overs to the 3. 25 blinds in the middle. What sort of hands are bluffs in this instance? There is actually hands wrapped around the queen or hands wrapped around the 3 that are suited. So some sort of like jack 10 makes a lot of sense, picking up a straight draw on the turn. Ripping it in here. Ace high could actually be good in a world. Then there's also hands like maybe like not likely like 5-4 of hearts, you know, that made a pair of 4s on the river. But like I was thinking like there's gonna be something wrapped around the 3 as well that could be in there. In the end, Ole wisely folds. But it's a very cool situation where when you think about their bluffs, it's like that jack 10 is very, very possible. Being wrapped around the queen, and there might even be like some like king jack or something. What was the turn card? Was it a 9? I think it was a 9. Yeah, some sort of holding that king 10. Yeah, something wrapped around that queen. Anyways, we're gonna move on along here. I think Coco went for a 3-bet pre there, took it down. Had a good holding. I don't remember what it is anyways. Was it jacks or something? Anyways, ace 4 suited. Coco's coming in for another 3-bet here. Ole King Queen in the big blind. Jesper opened up the button with the old Queen 10-0. Crazy aggression here by Coco. You'll love to see it. It's working out for him. Ace 2-0. We come in for the open. Ramunculus with a 7-6 connectivity hand. I think we're seeing 3 cards here. Although, okay, so four-handed, $56,000 locked up. I thought we were still seeing 3 cards as I was talking it out. Ramunculus had folded. The ladders are getting huge if we're being honest here. King 9 suited. Coco comes in for the open. Ace 10 suited. Do we rip it in here? 17.5 blinds. Four-handed, I think so. Jesper with 7s. Do we fold? What? It's a tiny 3-bet, yo. Pocket pair does get out of there. Does Coco rip it in here? Do we somehow call? What do we do here? Do we just fold because this looks strong as fuck? I'm actually confused. Coco calls. We see 3 cards. Jack 10, 2, 11 in the middle, 12.5 behind. Straight draw for Coco to the Queen. An overcard with the King. We just get a rip by Ramunculus's middle pair of 10s there. Interesting. Big ball rip there by Ramunculus as well, just to protect all his equity somehow. Says I don't really want to bet small and get jammed on. What an interesting little hand that was. 12.5 behind. He just overbet rips. Jesper with 4s is going to call from the small here. Ramunculus Ace 6 suited opens the button. Jack for Coco. Surely going to 3-bet here. 7 blinds is tiny. That's a very tiny 3-bet. But Ramunculus is playing off 23.5 blinds. So the 3-bet sizing does come down. Ramunculus rips it in. Bad timing, dude. Looking for that ace. 50 Oh, Jack on the turn. No worries. No worries, dude. Coco, 50 blinds. Come to Papa. Oh my gosh, dudes. Coco, Jambo, Jack 10 suited. Do we rip this one in here for 16 blinds? We do. Ole quickly calls with 70%. We're looking for a lot of help. There's nothing there. Top pair will hold. Top pair will hold, and Coco, easy come, easy go. Ole sitting on 30-some blinds. 8-8 in the small is actually a weird spot here. You kind of want a 3-bet, but at the same time, you're like, what size do I go? Ole says, I guess I just 3-bet jam. 32 blinds or something? Takes it down pretty. That's a big 3-bet. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to 3 players. We've got about $82,000 locked up. And again, the ladders get huge. It's like $38,000 ladder. Holy fuck. And then a 55k heads up battle. Holy fuck. $55,000 heads up battle. Whew. Anyways, Queen 5 limping it in. Ace 5 checking it back. Ace high board. Some backdoor equity for Ole. Could go for a little bet. Try to get some bullshit holdings to fold. Says, no, actually, Brendan. Check. Keep the pot small. Ole's got a cute little cat as their picture. Holy fuck. That is a cute little kitty. Just the happiest little being in the world. Anyways, Jack 8 suited. Jesper limps it on in. It's kind of weird. Jesper's this huge ass stack. You never know what they're going to do pre. Really willing to see 3 cards, Jesper is. They pick up a flush draw here. Backdoor straight draws in the ass. Or out the ass, sorry. Not in the ass. Holy shit. Coco with the toppest of pairs. 3 in a row. Flop goes check, yo. Flop goes check. Ace on the turn. Limp pot. Less than 2.5 blinds in the middle. Get a full pot size bet by the flush draw. Quick call by Coco. 8 on the river. Does Jesper just check call? Do we turn our 3rd pair into a bluff? We don't block any straight draws. We just block flush draws that missed. Yikes. Yeah, it looks like a check call or check fold even. River goes check somehow. Coco didn't want to get check raised on the river, so he didn't even bet, which is interesting. Coco's an aggressive player. I figured they would have went for some value having checked the flop. Ace 10 for Ole in the big. Jesper with the king and the 9 of the same suit. Little 3-bet here. This is a very peculiar situation Ole just put himself in with the 3-bet here. Jesper with the 4-betting potentials. He even calls. Like ace-10 O doesn't necessarily play well post-flop, and you're certainly not just going to get top pair to fold here on the flop. We're going to bet like 4.5. Oh, we even check. Yikes, dude. This is a interesting little happening here. That happy kitty ain't so happy no more. Maybe we wisely check because we're not getting that pair of kings to fold, which is makes up a large proportion of our opponent's potential holdings. Anyways, we see a 3 blind flop bet, 3 into 16. Ole says, the disrespect, dude. I feel like I have to do something. I call. We pick up a straight draw to the queen. Stack to pot ratio right around 1-1, but not quite. Does Jesper check and give him a card? Or do you bet super small? You went 3 on the flop? Do you go like 4 on the turn? 5? 4.7. 4.9? Oh, full 9 blinds. Oh, I was not expecting this. 9 into 22 with 23 in total? I don't know, man. I don't quite understand. I don't get it. I don't know. Whatever. Jesper's better than I. Jesper gets a walk here, and they got this huge ass stack, dude. They got 77 blinds. Ace 4. It is interesting to see how Jesper's going to go about this. They've been limping it in quite often. Usually we go for these big raises pre-flop, being in first place, trying to put pressure on second place. Although, Koku's also shown that they're just going to 3-bet the fuck out of everything. So maybe that's an adjustment made by Jesper to say like, hey, maybe we should just try to keep this pot small because Koku is actually a wizard. And I don't want him to fuck me up in a big pot. So I don't want to just make every pot huge, so I'm going to keep the pot small and limp it on in. We're just checking it down to the river here. Queen high versus pair of 4s. Coco doesn't have a great reason to bluff neither. That 5 does block 5-6, I guess. Which is a straight, but that's the dink end of the straight, and a flush also completed. Pair of 4s will just take the pot down. Queen 6 suited looks like an open, and probably just take it down pre. Ole 8-4 in the big. Jack 10, weird spot off 17 blinds. Do you limp? Just rip and take it down pre. That's a pretty big ball play. Oh, I got cold coffee probably. Yeah, that's not warm anymore. Not warm anymore. Top pair versus bottom pair, limp pot. Did Jesper bet a blind or some shit? Or do we just check it over? Keep the pot small for some reason. We bet 1 blind. Very, very peculiar. Got a call by the bottom pair. 8 on the turn. It's like 6-7 made a straight, but Queen Jack was already there. Jack 7 made a straight, I guess. Yeah, I guess a few straights get there, dudes, but I think that pair of 9s is just gonna quickly get out of there. Quicker than I could say the words Jesper bets. Whoa, aces in the big, not much. Oh, Jack 4 comes in for the big raise. Ole calls. Ole call. You let your opponent see 3 cards. King 8-2. Coco goes for a very small bet here. Nobody checks it on over. No equity for Coco, really. Backdoor 2 pairs or backdoor 3 of a kind. Very, very slim chances of winning, and that 5 will lock the board up for the aces. Very well played by Ole. Checking the flop as well. You bet like half pot here, a little bit less maybe. Size up the river jam. And Ole even goes smaller than that. Gets, what was it, Jack high to fold? Not too much doing there for aces, nothing Ole could do otherwise though to get any more value. 8-2 suited will limp it in. Ace 10 will raise to 3 blinds and take it down pre. 7 and a 2 out of there. 8-10 for Jesper. Raising the 3 blinds. Jack 8 for Coco in the big. Jack 4-3 is the flop. 2 hearts out there. Jesper with some backdoor equity. Using the big raise sizing pre-flop. Looks like we're going to continue to tell the story, and top pair is going to at least come along with a call. I don't know if you want to raise here. 9 on the turn. Okay, things get spicy as fuck here. We got an open-ended straight draw. Jesper 10.5 in the middle. Got 33 in total behind. I think Jesper sizes up the river jam. Open-ended straight draw versus the top pair. There's so many cards Jesper can bluff as well, even if their hand doesn't get there. Some sort of heart or spade. Queen of Hearts, beautiful card for Jesper, that is. Making their straight. The thing is, the flush completes. Coco's probably just going to fold on the river. King 10 also made a straight. There is a lot of missed straight draws. But then there's another thing to take into account, which is your opponent raised pre-flop. And they've been limping it in quite often. You do block this dink end of the straight here with the 8-10. Or with the Jack 8, sorry. Blocking 8-10. So if Coco does find the call, it's like, you can find bluffs here, you know, the 5-6s, anything open-ended on the flop. You're not going to see too many better pairs. Like would aces still go for value on the river? It's very close. I probably still would, 3-hand and all that shit. I don't know if everybody would, though. Anyways, we come back from break. Ole gets a walk with aces. Ace 5 suited, Coco opens. Whew. Ole with the king and the 9 is going to fold the small blind. Ace 10 in the big. That's not that big blind. That's the button, dude. Ace 10 opens the button. Jesper might 3-bet. Coco's down to 25 blinds somehow. Jesper with all those chips, dude. Do we 3-bet jam? No. We just fold. Very interesting. Like, you don't necessarily want to call here, but a 3-bet would make a lot of sense. You could just go super small, less than 6 blinds. And then what? Do you just fold to the jam? So then you're like, fuck it, why would I even do that? You just fold anyways. You fold from the small pre instead of 3-betting. Interesting shit. Anyways, Coco's open-ended with the flush draw. Ole with the better flush draw. Banging off top pair. What does Coco do here? He's still got the 2 or the 7 for the straight to complete. And that's a small bet, dudes. 2.4 into 7.3. Coco's going to feel like they have to call, I think, with the heart. What do you do on the river if heart's complete? Check raise. Whoa, who was expecting that one? I was leaning more towards folding. Coco says raise, probably folds to a 3-bet on the turn. What do you do on the river if you don't improve? Can you get a pair of aces to fold here? 3 on the river pairs the board. Ole doesn't play ace 10 anymore. Why, that's pretty irrelevant. If we're being completely honest. Coco still rips top pair, snap calls. Coco down to 5 bigs. Ole with a huge ass comeback. Happy Kitty gets happier. We get this one in pre-ace jack versus king queen. Looking for kings and queens. There's a straight draw. The queen on the river will do 11 more blinds for the happy cat. Coco's out in third, and that was a pretty damn well played game. It's been a pretty good game of cards here today. Ole opening up the king and the 6, 10, 7 suited will defend the big. Queen 4-4 is the flop. Queen 4-4. Flop goes check, check, eat on the turn, heads up, poker. Again, a 55k difference between first and second place. Boink, boink, boink. This one checks down to the river. Jesper with 10 high. Ole with that king high, just going to show it down and win. 4 blinds. Over to Ole. King 4 suited opens it up for Jesper. 8-4, heads up poker. We're going to see a lot of flops here. 10-9-3 is the board. So far we've seen a little bit of passivity, which is interesting until Jesper takes over from the button and says, I'm going to bet huge on this flop where I've just got a backdoor flush draw and an overcard. Jesper's big bet takes it down pre 6-3, limps it in. Queen 6. Limps are not necessarily a bad thing in heads-up poker. When you're playing a full ring game, you definitely do not want to limp it in, but... Was that Queen 6 raising it up big to like 4 blinds? Jesper takes it down pre. 2 and a 3. Jesper just going to fold the button here. You're going to see very little folds on the button, and I'm actually a little surprised even the 2-3 hit the muck, even though it was offsuit. Just with how aggressive Jesper's been. 7-2, limps it in. Yeah, this is the worst hand in poker, still limping it in from the button. Ace, Queen will raise from the big and take it down. Ace 5 raising the button, Jack 8 forced to call. Well, Jack 8's actually a good hand. It's suited and booted. Makes straights and shit. A little bit of connectivity. And flop a pair, straight draw, backdoor flush draw. Quite a bit going on here for Ole. Jesper with the backdoor flush draw as well, and the overcard with the ace. Checks it on back 10 on the turn, locks up the board for Ole, providing there's no jack on the river, which would be a chop pot. But holy, that doesn't matter. Jesper's not really going to put any pennies in the middle here. Ole bets 1.4 and Shirley just takes it down. I wonder what sort of bluffs on the turn there. Some sort of like flush draw. I would imagine you're going to see more like random ass king X's or some sort of like, what, 7X or something? Very interesting little turn bet there. Very small as well. Limp pot, Queen 3. Verse Ace 2. Excuse me, I'm trying to hiccup and burp at the same time, and neither came. King 10-4 is the board. It goes check, check, 7 on the turn. Queen of Hearts is an interesting card. It did not bet the flop. It looks pretty stupid on the turn here. We're going to check it down to the river, where both players blocked the flush that had complete. That does not matter. 7 also pairs the board. Did I say that like 2 seconds ago? I may have. Jesper's ace high will take down this 2 1/4 blind pot. And we show it down. That was like 10 seconds and nobody will get back. Ace 9 suited opens it up. 2-3 suited will call. Interesting. 7-4-4, 2 diamonds. Does Jesper just check ace high? They do. A king on the turn. Ace high is still best. A little. Ooh! I just keep booting my computer. A little flush draw checks it over. 1 blind bet by the ace high. The equity favorite. A check raise by Ole is super cool. I don't know how to do it though. 5 on the river. Like what size? That's how I don't know what to do. 1, there's like 4 in the middle. Do you just go like 7 or 6 or something? A little bit bigger, even 8 or something? Did Ole just lead the river here? A third pot? Ace high. I was gonna talk shit about that. I was gonna talk shit about it. Not fucking work, dude. Ace high hits the muck. Nice little play by the cat. Bets 1/3 pot with no showdown value. The literal worst possible holding. 3 high. Little third pot size stab on the river. A little lead. A little donk lead. Says no problem. I'll take that pot. I'll take those 6 blinds or whatever it was. Holy shit. Both players with a pair of 5s here. Ole's in a bit of trouble, but has some backdoor equity. 1 blind bet by Jesper. There's a world where Ole check raises here. They do call, which is good news. Jesper with that king on the turn. We lock up the board, providing there's no 5? No, because a 5 on the river. Does Jesper win in that instance? I think they do. 3 5s and a king. Or 2 kings. Where Ole would play 3 5s and 2 9s. Anyways. So Jesper just locked up the pot on the turn. That's cool. I don't know why that took me so long to figure out. We got 6 1/4 blinds in the middle. 6-8 made a straight. Spade draw missed. Not too big of a bet by Jesper here. It would be fun to see Ole turn their hand into a bluff. I don't know if they're going to. Yeah, it kind of felt like more like a call, and It is weird when your opponent checks back the turn there. Would you expect him to keep going for value with his strong holdings? He's like, well, shit, you're gonna have a 9, a 5, or some spade draws, maybe some pocket pairs. Let's go to the river. Go for a value-ish looking bet. That was interesting too. Fucking heads up poker, man. It's a cool game. 10-8 for Jesper opening it up. Queen 5 defends the big blind. Flopping top pair. Queen 6-2 is the board. Jesper with a few backdoor straight draws. We'll just make a pair of 10s on the turn. Make a pair of 10s. Ole leads out here. Is that half pottish? It's a little bit bigger, which is kind of interesting. Ace on the river. Hopefully Ole finds another value bet. King Jack obviously got there. Any ace wins. No, Ole checks over the pair of queens. Be interesting to see if Ole gave Jesper a chance to hear a call there. Little pair of 7s. Jesper with the best of it for the time being. A 10 on the turn. Ole checking back the flop. King Queen 7 with the overcard backdoor flush draw. Picking up a straight draw on the turn here. 2 and 1/4 blinds in the middle and a 10 on the river. 9-7 is the best hand. Jesper will be just under 100 bigs. Boink, 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 boink. Check down pot. Those are kind of boring to watch. They do make sense when you're trying to win. Like, you don't always want to blow up a pot, right? But, like, you definitely want to have some check down pots. Sometimes they happen more frequently than the other pots. But, like, to watch, it's like, holy fuck, guys. I wish you just bet. I wish somebody just bet. That's how I wish. That's what I wish for. Anyways, Jesper with 2 pairs in position. Bottom 2 pairs. Turns into 2nd and 4th pair. Ole with the 2nd pair. There's a lot of draws out there. Although 5-2 made a straight, you don't really give a shit about that. There's still spade draws out there. 2nd pair. We'll think about a call here. We're going to see a big bet. Over bet. 9 blinds into 7. Huge ass bet. Trying to size up the river jam. Ole might fold facing this size. Ole says, no, we're off to the river. King of spades. Do we fold to the jam now? I would fold. Yeah, we can't really do much here in Ole's shoes. Check fold is the situation. If Ole somehow check calls, I don't even know if Jesper's going to river value bet. I don't know if we can jam. What do we try to get called by? Some sort of ace? I guess Jesper says do it. Maybe some 9x calls? Like, it doesn't really make much sense. What sort of bluffs do you imagine your opponent to have once the spade gets there on the river? On the ace 9-3 flop with 2 spades, you know, it's kind of really hard to find any bluffs. Interesting spot there. Jesper still goes for the river value. There's a couple of pairs. He says, I'm going for some river value. A pair of 4s here for Ole. He bets huge. What's going on here? Limp pot. Ole bets 2x the pot. Jesper with 5-2 high hangs in there for half a second. Says, what just happened? Why'd you bet so big here? Interesting little plays by the cat now that I'm seeing the game play out. Jesper with an ace and a 6 will limp it on in. Ole with that 8 and a 4 will be forced to see 3 cards unless he raises it up, and then he'll be forced to see 3 cards in a bigger pot. 10-9-2 is the board. 3 in a row for Ole is always fun. You kind of want some backdoor flush draw potentials in there if you want to go for some check raise bluffs, I think. A 9 on the turn, you got no equity. You got 8 high. Yeah, check fold is probably pretty fucking reasonable. King 6 suited, one of my favorite hands, if not the most favorite hand. Limping it on in. 5-7, King 6 flopping top pair, King 9-2, all spades. And neither player has a spade, so this is boring, as I would call it. Boink, boink, boink. Ace 8 versus Ace 3. Two interesting hands here. We're playing 27 blinds deep, limp pot. Oh, they might raise. I would just check it back here. I like to have checks with aces, or ace-x in my checking range is how I should word that. I like to check my ace back pre-flop. Keep that in my back pocket. Anyways, Ole raises it up. Ace-3 calls and flops that little pair of threes, 7¼ blinds in the middle. This is not why I would just check it back pre-flop. I want to flop a pair of aces. I don't want my opponent to be like, hey, he checked it back pre-flop. He ain't gonna have too many aces. How many ace-x's is he gonna have? Not many. He checked it back pre-flop. I want to be sitting there with an ace. I want to be like, hey dude, I checked it back pre-flop. Oh, there's an 8 on the turn. I checked it back pre-flop with an ace. That would have been Brendan. Anyways, we both have a pair here. So an ace on the river would be nasty as fuck. Jesper, if he finds a 3 magically, would scoop the pot, but not too many blinds. Queen pairs the board. Ole could almost go for a value here. Hard to imagine your opponent has too much 3x, but some sort of small pocket pair, perhaps. Nice little value bet here by Ole, and I think it's going to get rewarded. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it's 3.6 blinds, but it's a beautiful play. Nice little value bet by Ole. Queen and a 6, opening it up. Oh, oh, big stretch. 10-8 for Jesper. Defends the big blind. King 3-2 is the flop. Goes check, check, 8 on the turn. A little 6 of clubs is an interesting card, blocking some flush draws. Queen high could be good, so we're just going to check it down to the river. 9 of spades. Check, bet, call, and we're moving on along, I think. Not easy to get value here with a pair of 8s. Jesper still goes for the 1.4 blinds. Does Queen high ever look him up? No. Little fold there by the cat. Jack 8 versus 10-9. Open call. We're off to the flop. Heads up. Heads up poker. Flush draw versus 10 high. Get a lead and 10 high. Fold, I guess? What the hell? What does Jesper do here? Somehow it hasn't folded, and then he says, well, I think I just gotta fold, dude. Heads up poker. Interesting little play there by Ole. 9-2 suited, limping it in. Ace 7. When are we getting this in here, guys? Ace 7 flops, 2 pairs, 3 in a row for Ole. No backdoor flush draw. They've shown the willingness to check back a whole fuck ton of flops. They go for the 1 blind bet here. 2 pairs, top and bottom. Michael for a check raise. They say, no, we're going to call and see the turn, make a full house. And we're not going to lose the pot no matter what. 4¼ blinds in the middle. We'll see if Ole somehow goes bombs away. No, but they make a pair of 9s on the river. So like Jack 10 made a straight. There's some other stuff that got there as well, such as 10-6 and 6-5. Any 7 you lose to. I'm thinking a pair of 9s is going to call here. There could be like, what, a pair of 8s? That wouldn't turn itself into a bluff. What about like a... Does a 9 bet like this on the river? I think you call because you chop with 9x. Unless it's ace 9. Or ace... Well, unless, of course, he's got a full house too, but... Those are a lot of words for just a call for a 1.4 blind bet. Jack 7, opening the button. King 3, calling the big. Flopping top pair. Jesper with the second pair and the backdoor flush draw in there. Boopity boop 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 boo. Small little bet. Top pair. With that shit kicker, interesting little spot here. There's a lot of flush draws you could check raise here. Ooh. A lot of combo draws and shit too you could check raise. Like, there's so much shit you can check raise on the flop, you know? Interesting that Ole just called it. Pair of 7s turns into 3 of a kind with the flush draw. Ole says, I need a king here, dealer. Flush draw gets there. This is almost one of those spots where you can think about hero calling. Jack on the river. That's a full house for Jesper again. It's like there's still the 5-6 open ender, and then there's shit wrapped around that. Some sort of what? Like ace 5 with a dime? No. That's not even a straight draw. Like 5-6 is the easiest one. 5-8-5. Nope. 5-3, 6-3, 6. No. There's not too many missed straight draws. Jesper in the end doesn't go all in because like it is hard to find bluffs other than like the 5-6. You gotta hope one of those straight draws has the diamond as well. King 3, not an easy call. Not the easiest fold. Very reasonable. The cat goes in the tank here. He says, "God damn, I hope you're bluffing." Jesper shows him a full house. Ole is down to 8 blinds, which is a damn shame, but wasn't too bad of a showing for him here today. He still got a chance to make a huge comeback, but look at the chip disadvantage he's got here. A pair of 4s with the backdoor flush draw. Check back the flop here. This is a limp pot, 10-4 versus 9-5. Jesper with the pair of 5s. I think we go for a big bet here. We want to get it all. Oh, he checks over. A pair of 4s. Do we bet the turn? 1 blind and check back the river? We just go straight to the river. 5 of diamonds, 3 of a kind for Jesper. Kind of weird. Do we check raise? Nah, Jesper just bets pot, and surely Ole just calls here. Yeah, they just call and see the bad news. 5 blinds to go. Jack 10 will jam and take it down pre. 9-4 in the big is pretty shit, dude. 9-4 sucks. 10-8 will rip it in here for 4 blinds. I think you just gotta run it here. 9-4 fold, you. Moving on along. 8-2 folds. A little walk there for Ole, trying to make a comeback up to 6 blinds. Jack 4 high might rip it in. 6 blinds. It's pretty close. Heads up, poker. You obviously don't want to get called, but your Jack high is very likely to be good here. It's like the 4th highest card or something. King 7 versus King 7 will get in pre-flop. Nope, we're chopping this bad boy up. We both got a straight draw that bricks. That really matters. 7 blinds deep, heads up, poker. This isn't necessarily the most enjoyable thing. 4-3 is thinking about a jam. I don't know if we take this one. Ole says we don't, we limp. We get a jam by Jesper, who takes it down pre-flop with the suited ace. 8-4 suited will rip and take it down pre. Ole down to 5 blinds. The fluctuation is maddening. Queen 9 rips. Queen 3 snap calls. Looking for a 3 to end the game. Is there some chop pot potentials? There surely is. A 4 on the river. Runner 4-4 will do the job for the chop. Ace King versus Queen 3. We get this one in. Ace Queen versus King 3. I don't know why Ole's taking too long to call here. Kings and 3s will do. Oh, club, ace, or queen? No, none of that shit. Okay, that's the show there, folks. 175k for Jesper. Very good game there in the end. That was a fun one. Everybody kind of showed up and had a good time. Lena, unfortunately, we didn't hear too much from, but eventually bubbled. Starwinds got unlucky with their aces. Dejan, Gengar, I think, got unlucky at some point. Everybody gets unlucky at some point, right? ILS was somebody I looked up before this, doing the commentary, and I remember doing some old ones with him on the final table from like 2017 or something like this. Like a long ass time ago, and then I don't know if I saw them too much since then. So I was like really excited to see them play, and then I think they were one of the first ones gone. Grozorg you see all the time, so I'm like, yeah, Grozorg comes and goes. No worries there. Same with Lena, you know, you're like, if I get to see you play, cool. If I don't, I'll see you in another one very quickly. Ole I got familiar with. Ramunculus put on a show. Jesper got the job done. Coco, that was a fun performance by them as well. They had the big stack for a while. I think they were rocking around 2nd place. 3 betting like a madman. Anywho, that's the end of the show. So if you made it all the way through this bullshit, thanks for checking it on out. hopefully we'll see you in another video, and until then, adios amigos.